President William Ruto is proving to be a deceiver of all times with the latest housing levy scams, with the specific amendments that they want to initiate in the housing funds. It is now feared that billions of shillings could be diverted away from the housing projects towards unrelated initiatives. Why am I saying this? You see, in the Affordable Housing Act of 2024, it states that Affordable Housing Fund should be used to finance, among other things, the design, development, and maintenance of affordable housing and its associated social and physical infrastructure. But listen to what the president says.
This housing plan is not so much about the houses. No. This affordable housing plan is more about the jobs for young people than the houses.
Well, the house levy is not only used for developing or for constructing affordable housing. The funds are also used to build markets. The question is, are we also paying excess for those who are being deducted the house levy from their salaries? Now, in the new act of the affordable housing, there are proposed new uses like 1. Health facilities, pre-primary and basic education centers, fire station centers, police posts, markets, social halls, and open spaces. Now, that is feared. It was not the original arrangement by the time the president was campaigning back then, saying that they will have a house levy that will contribute towards affordable housing.
And we are not only using that housing levy kujenga hiyo affordable housing. We are using it to build the markets. We have now 260 markets going on in Kenya.
All that is falling out of scope of what Kenyan workers were promised. And right now, the president is saying that 20% of all the affordable housing projects will be reserved for the members of the disciplined forces. Therefore, it begs a question. So those are the civil servants that are top ranked and most important with the comparison to other civil servants.
20% of whole housing units being developed under affordable housing across the country will be ring-fenced for members of our disciplined forces from the military, the National Police Service, the Kenya prisons, and the National Youth Service.
The president says the project is not about housing. It's about giving jobs for the youth. I remember back then when he was campaigning, he really fought the issue of kazi mtaani. You know?
Wanalete ati kazi mtaani ili kuwahadaa wa Kenya, ati wa Kenya walipe shilingi 400 wafanye kazi ya kukata nyasi, na tulikuwa na nafasi ya kupanga ajira ya hawa vijana, lakini hiyo nafasi iliharibiwa na mambo ya handshake, na mambo ya BBI, na mambo ya rege, na wakaturingia na kiburi mingi.
Najua nyinyi mumeniambia ya kwamba mnataka ile kazi mtaani. Munisikize, sikizeni. Mambo ya kazi mtaani ni mambo zamani. Ile kazi mtaani ya kuokota takataka na nini hapana. Tuachane na hiyo. Sasa kazi itakuwa hii. Ninyi mnanielewa? Hiyo kazi sikizeni. Hiyo kazi ya mtaani. Hakuna kazi ya mtaani tena. Kazi ni hii ya kujenga manyumba hii.
Now, let us focus on the proposed new use of the affordable housing levy. 1. Health facilities. We have seen regimes come and go, and they never introduced anything like house levy for them to build hospitals, for them to, uplift the status of certain hospitals. We never saw the regimes say that now they want a specific fund to go to the pre-primary and basic education centers. The government was using funds from the consolidated account, which our taxes are channeled into. Fire stations, police posts have always been built, not by us funding it directly like President William Ruto wants it to be done. Markets have always been built. Social halls and open spaces have always been there. Now, what is it that they are planning behind the doors? What is it that President William Ruto is planning? You know, for a while, I've been asking myself, where were the previous regimes getting money to run development, to run infrastructure? Because as we speak, Kenya is still borrowing. One of the greatest promises that William Ruto has broken, saying that they will never borrow money to finance certain projects. They would say that there is enough money and enough of taxes that are being collected within the nation that will be able to fund these government projects. But how comes now you, in fact, according to the proposed finance bill, the pie, you want to increase it to 37.7%. At the same time, you want to cut the house levy. At the same time, you also want to deduct the SHA, NSSF. And you see, you also want to channel the NSSF, the pension money. You want to channel it to building roads, as if the government is not collecting enough. Something is wrong. Billions are being lost without us knowing. Somebody is responsible. The Auditor General just the other day told us about a whooping 1.3 trillion being withdrawn manually from the consolidated account. And up to now, it cannot be traced. Monies are getting lost in e-Citizen day in, day out. We don't have the persons to come and answer these. The government is doing nothing about it. Who are the accomplices? It makes me feel so mad. We are not surprised about Ruto's deception because there are a lot that he did promise back then, but we know he couldn't fulfill them. Otherwise, the same people he was fighting saying he couldn't work with them are the same people that are greed driven and are making this country dry. What is your take in all these promises and pathological lying that the president has engaged himself into? Give us your take in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button, so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Halif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.